But what would Gordon Ramsay say?
He would call us idiots.
Hi friends, welcome back. We are starting our fall recipe series, and today we are going to make chili, but not just any ordinary chili. We are going to make cornbread chili pie. It's from Reese Witherspoon, and we're so excited to try it because it's one of those where you see the picture and it just looks really good. So if you want all the details, as always, you can get the link and the details below in our description. Now that we've done the pre-prep of the meat, we're going to give it a little more seasoning and go on to the next steps. A couple tablespoons of tomato paste. I'm just eyeballing it because we're not baking and I can get away with that. A can of diced tomatoes. And then a packet of chili spices.
I think it's 2 packets.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay, well I'm gonna throw in a packet of taco seasoning, which I have done for my own version of chili, so it's gonna be okay. Okay. Well, we got one more thing, chicken stock.
Oh, yeah.
And then we're gonna let this all simmer together, let all the flavors meld, and just let the meat be its most delicious. It's like 2 pounds of meat. Now this is what I call a meal.
I'm already getting a little nervous. On the recipe it says to use like an 8 or 9 inch skillet. If I'm gonna add in beans and corn and a giant heaping, serving of cornbread on top, my pan's gonna overflow.
I had the same thought / concern, and I opted for my 12 inch. All right, meat is looking mighty fine. The liquid's thickening up, it just looks really beautiful.
When I read the reviews, the one thing that they complained about was that the chili sometimes it was too wet, so when they laid in the cornbread on top, it was trying to sink down in the liquid.
All right, well let's let it cook just a couple more minutes. Maybe the last 2 minutes will just make all the difference in the world. And then we'll get started on our cornbread mixture.
Yeah.
2 boxes of the Jiffy cornmeal, or corn muffin mix, which I do have two of these, so I followed this one properly. Eggs, milk.
And then the next step is some frozen corn, and then some cheddar cheese. I didn't even measure on this one, Gina. I'm like, it looks good to me. Okay, so I'm gonna set that aside. You're gonna add in a whole can of red kidney beans that we have drained and rinsed.
Oh, I didn't drain mine. Darn it, now I just added more liquid.
And then we're gonna add in more frozen corn.
I just don't like soggy bread. So the fact that the cornbread's touching the chili sauce, I did get a little about it. So I'm gonna take some out of mine as well. But you'll want some liquid because it's still gonna go in the oven and it still needs to cook. So don't take out all the liquid. But I have room, so I'm gonna add a little liquid back. I don't know what to do.
I'm gonna put this on my sheet pan.
Okay.
Just because I'm scared. It's all about safety and cleanliness. Are you ready to spoon on this lovely cornbread mixture on top? It's really hard to spread because it's so thick and clumpy. So I almost feel like when you put it on, kind of be strategic. We're gonna put this in the oven at 375 for 40 to 45 minutes, and then we are going to have us a chili pie.
Yes.
Okay, my chili pie looks amazing. How does yours look?
beautiful. It's like this beautiful brown bread topping that I love, but it's what's going on underneath. I'm curious about.
Yes. All right, let's scoop this up and see if it holds together.
Okay. I think mine looks great.
Ooh.
Can we all see?
Look at this. It's probably. You see it? Are you ready to try this Reese Witherspoon cornbread chili pie?
Let's dig in.
Hot.
Woo. Oh, I wanted to ask you,
Okay.
how did yours turn out as far as your size of pan that you had?
The cornbread just kind of like poofed up and just covered it perfectly.
Oh, okay, so it
like
held
a
up.
hot pie.
Okay.
Yeah, it did. So the recipe was right. So now we're gonna rate between 1 and 5 in terms of ease. So easy.
So one pot wonder.
So the next rating is the most important rating.
Yes.
How delicious was this chili pie by Reese Witherspoon? On a scale of 1 to 5?
All right.
Okay, 1,
Oh.
2, 3. A 5. You know, it didn't blow my mind, but it was exactly what I was expecting.
Yep.
Does that make
Yes.
sense? I'm expecting a hearty, yummy chili with this hard cornbread crust on top, and it delivered.
I think it's just the presentation of having it together. It's delicious. It looked the way it did in the picture. Speaking of which, I'm not experiencing any soggy distaste or issues on my side with the bread being on top of the chili. Not at all. The one little tiny downside for me, just personally, is I just realized that I prefer to eat my cornbread separate than the chili. And I don't necessarily want cornbread in every single bite, but it's new and it's different, and I think the way you can present it for a family meal, I think is still a 5 in my book.
I think because I took some of the juice out, it needs to be a little wetter. That's my own fault. And now I'm like, duh, they knew what they were talking about, because I wish it had just a little bit more juice. And see, follow the recipes, guys. But the crust is nice and crunchy. I don't know if you can hear it. Listen. It's perfect. Yeah. So I was scared about undercooking the cornbread because it was on top and was sitting on liquid. Didn't happen. It poofed up perfectly, just like the recipe said.
Yeah.
We had a great time making this. Super easy, super delicious. Make sure you come back next week to check out what we're making next. And we will see you guys next week.
Bye.